Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm bringing you the box I made for the Pootler blog hop. So I made this Valentine box here. I cased Angelina from Intertwined Design. As you can see, my box is a bit smaller. And Angelina used to be part of the team, and she gave us some... when she left, she left some of her projects that we could take for inspiration. So I took that one and I said to her, I'm going to case it. And so I've made it smaller. I did do a prototype and did it in the same size, but I've made it a bit smaller because people in America would have to use a 12 by 12 sheet for this, because it was 11.5 inches wide. So I've made this so that it's 10.5 inches wide, so you can get it out of a standard sheet. So we are using some DSP and some ribbon from the new mini catalogue. So the blog hop is showcasing the new mini catalogue, January to June 2022. And so I'm using Sweet Talk, and so I'm using the DSP and the ribbon, which is all I've got. Well, I've got the gems there, but that was it. So this is the paper. I have shown it before. So we've got all the love hearts, and you can see there that I've been using my scan and cut, and I cut them out for another project that I am going to do very soon. B-side of that, I do like that. That's why I only did half a sheet, because I might use that half for something else. This is the Sweetie and Lollipop, and that's where the lollipop came from that is on here. I cut them out of my scan and cut as well, and a few of these stripy hearts I cut out. I may well go back and do this entire sheet. Then we've got this one, nice jolly load of hearts. Love, 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 love that side. Then we've got that, some more sweets and some sweet boxes. I do love that side. I think they might go nice together. This is the sheet that I cut the strip out, which is the same lollies on it that I've used to decorate. Love that stripy. And then it's all hearts on the other side. So yeah, so we've got nice stripes. You know I love a stripe. So let's get on and make it. Okay, so I have changed the sizes a bit from Angelina's. I was going to go with the same size, but I changed my mind because she used 11.5 by 8 1/8, and I know that not everybody can get their standard, oh no, in America standard paper cardstock is 11 wide, so you'd have to go for 12 and 12. So I thought, I'm going to see if I can resize it so that you can use a standard sheet. So this is 10.5 by 7.5. Makes it slightly smaller, but I don't think it's too bad. So we are going to score on the short side at 2 and at 5. I'm using ordinary basic white here. Then we're going to swivel it around, and we're going to score at 2.5. The other one was 2 3/4 wide. 5, 7.5, and 10. Okay, so this is the top bit, this is the bottom bit. So now what we want to do, I'm just going to fold, I'll burnish properly later, all of these so that we can see them a bit better. So we're going to make some marks now. So we are going to make a mark at 1 1/4. Just, you could use a pencil, I'm just using my stylus. 3 3/4, so basically the halfway mark. 6 1/4, 8 3/4. Then with this 1/2 inch bit at the top, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, but just to that first score line. And then at each fold, we're going to make a mark at 1/2 inch. These are points for cutting later on. And then we want to put one on the end there. Okay. So you've got that. So you've got the short bit at the top that you've got all the marks on. You've got the longer bit at the bottom, which is the bottom of the box. And then you're going to take a ruler and you're going to do some diagonal scores from these 4 top points to each corner of the top rectangle. Bring my glasses down. So scoring up there. I like to go all in one direction. Actually, Angelina does as well. I was watching a video and it's like, yeah, I do that. Either we're both normal or we're both weird. So it's hard to see on white. I hope my head's not in the way, but I think it probably is. But I can't see. There we go. I have got another reminder about my eyes testing. I really need to go and do that. I haven't opened the layer, but it is sat. Well, actually, it's not sat downstairs on my computer anymore. I just realised Mr. OCD moved it out of the way. That's probably why I never get my blooming eyes tested, because he's always moving things. Right, so now we're going to get all these score lines folded and burnished. So I'm going to properly go over these ones that I just lightly folded. And that's where I scored wrong. It doesn't matter because it's going to have mats on there anyway, so you're not actually going to see it. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut I'm just going to cut that score line there. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it in half, and then what we're going to do is from that mark there to that point there, we're going to do one slice and fold on the next one from that point there where we marked it up to there, slice it, so it's creating these zigzags which will make the closure possible. I think Angelina, she thinks she got a box for Christmas or something, and it had this closure, and she worked out how to do it. So I'm not liking how that's turned out. I think it might be all right. So we're going to now fold and burnish all of those diagonal bits. And this is what gives you the pyramid closure. I think that's what Angelina called the box. I must remember that. Give it a title. So I remember thinking, oh, it's so difficult, but actually it's quite easy once you've made one. So I did prototype, then I did a little prototype 2 with rubbish school card, just to see if my measurements that I literally just looked at and made up on a post-it note, I just went, yeah, that'll work. And yeah, I was really surprised how actually quickly and easily I made it. And remembered. Oh, what I haven't remembered here is, what you got to do here is, oh, we can do it afterwards. We'll do it afterwards, actually. I hadn't forgot. It's just not at that point yet, really. Right, so now we've got all them. We are going to just cut notch in there, like so. And then what we want to do is we want a bit more off this. So back out with the ruler and got the ruler running along that crease to this corner, and just sort of draw a line up there so that you can cut. Like that. And then that means that when that is folded over like that, it's going up the crease. Otherwise it would be over this crease bit. It won't fold so well. So now that will stick on there and be away from that school line there. Right, so now we're going to, as with most boxes, you're going to take this bottom rectangle out. So, a little notch. I like to rest my scissors on the school line and take it up. Okay, so that bit's going to be the back, that bit's going to be the front. So we're going to leave those as squares and we're going to notch these ones. So I'm going to go up in a straight line and then just notch this side out and notch this side out. Go straight up there. Straight up there. And we'll notch this one. I'm doing it this way around. I find it really hard to cut that way. The earlier comment about being weird. So that is our box. The box needs some holes for closing. Now Angelina did her holes on the side bits. I mean, on the front and the back bits. I'm going to do them on the side bits because when your ribbon's in, so that's the back. So it was on the back and the front, the hole. The ribbon sort of naturally goes to the side. So I'm gonna do it the other way. So I'm using a crocodile. I've set it at 1/2 inch. So go down the, I'm using the smaller hole, go down at the point, eyeball for the middle, make your hole. You can use other implements to make holes. We used to have a handheld hole puncher. You could use whatever you've got. So that is the basic box construction. So now we need the panels for sticking on, and it's easier to stick them on at this point when it is flat. Okay, so I've cut my mat, so I've just covered up my measurements. That was really good, Jez. So I am using real red because that's the colour in the DSP. So we need 4 that measure 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. So that gives us a nice 1/8 inch border all round. And then the DSP, I've gone for this one because I'm using the lollipops and I thought they went really well. So that's 2 1/2 by 2. So that is again another 1/8 inch border. So cut 4 each of those. And then I was going to put the lolly on there. And I was hoping that with that white border around it that it would pop, but it doesn't really. So you can fussy cut these. I did these on my Scan and Cut, and I did it with a 0.04 border. It couldn't really be much bigger because there's other elements on the page. You couldn't. So then I thought, oh, what about if I have a red border around that? I wonder if by sticking that down and running that through the machine, I hoped that it would pick up the outline there, and then I could set a border again. So that's what I did. So I stuck this to the cardstock, scanned it, it did recognise it. I went for a 0.08 border. You could stick it down and fussy cut it, but I'm just saying this for people who might have Scan and Cuts. And this is what I got. So I, frugal as ever, I took it out of the, actually Angelina did that in this one. She cut the trees out of the white base. So now that can go on there. Now the reason why I went for a 0.8 and not 0.4, 0.8, not 0.4, was I wasn't 100% certain if it was picking up the edge of the white line or the edge of the coloured line. And so I sort of hedged my bets. I think it was picking up the white line, but it's thicker. So I wasn't sure if I wanted a smaller border, but actually it makes it sort of similar proportion to the mat. So I think you'll agree that that does look better than that. So I'm going to cut the rest out now that I know it works. So all I'm doing is I'm going to stick that down to the, you can of course use a fresh piece of cardstock if you want. I'm just showing you how you can save it a bit. So sticking that down, obviously if you were fussy cutting you couldn't do it out the middle, you'd have to stick it to a separate piece and fussy cut round, and I know lots of people would fussy cut that, so happy days. I know lots and lots of people have a cutting machine. That's what I'm using. So I'm going to cut all of those out. So there we are, all done now. And I have to say that I'm getting so much quicker. I mean, I literally was minutes. Put it in, scanned it, did it. Scanned it in colour. And one of them, the little mat moved, so I had to do it again on its own, and it had already half cut it, but it's absolutely fine. So very happy with that. So let's get these stuck together. So I'm going to put glue all the way around the edge there and glue all the way around there to stick it down. I am first of all going to go round everything with my bone folder because it's a new blade. There we are. So back to the gluing. And I am looking at the direction. I mean, it's non-directional paper, but I am sort of aware of what might look better in terms of the lollies that you can see. Yeah. So that one going like that, so that that one's up the right way, because that one's mostly covered. Okay, so now I'm going to stick them onto here, and I'm thinking that I might pop these up on a dimensional. That might look nice, or I might just put the front one up. I don't know. Decisions. So they're all done, and I do think I might pop these up on dimensionals, make it even more special. So I want to put the box together before I do that. I could just stick them flat, but I think let's make the box a bit special. Got a little bit of glue there that I want to come off, so I could get my glue rubber. Perfect. Right, so gonna put glue on these. You need a strong glue because it is a box, so you could use Stamp and Seal Plus. I like a liquid glue. I like Tombow. This is Tombow in a different bowl. So fold them over, push it down. Tombow does dry very quickly. There we go. And then, so that's the back, that's the front. So we're going to put this one down first, so that when you look down the box, you can just see a flat surface. That's what I like to see. And stick these down. So you've got a really nice solid base to this box. I say often I will use the thick basic white when I'm making boxes, but I didn't for this one because I knew it was going to be so many layers. So you've got all the layers on the outside. Here, you've got lots of layers down there, and you even got layers on this bit here when it's folded in, so I didn't think it needed to be thicker. So that is our pyramid closure. So let's put our ribbon through. So I'm going to use the real red ribbon that comes in the suite. This is, yeah, it is there. So this is a real red, it's faux linen ribbon. Do love a bit of linen. So I'm going to feed that through. I say, and I've put the holes on the side. Prototype, I put them front and back, which is also what Angelina did, but then my bow was the other way around, so I thought this might be better for making sure your bow goes in the right direction. So I'm gonna just see about how big I need this to be. And then we'll worry about them being in the right place. Yeah, that's about right. So just snip that off. So now it's about letting the box know who's boss. And pull it nice and tight in like that. And there's a bit of me that's wondering if there, sort of hook it in whilst you're tying the bow. And it does stay in place. So sweet little bow that, and that's fitting nicely. In the right direction. So now we want to put these on, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of each of these. So I think one in the middle will be enough. Maybe I'll put two. Maybe that was an omen. Maybe that was it saying, no, Jez, you need two. Otherwise it will be a disaster. So now we can pop these on the top. You could just decorate the front of the box as opposed to all the way around, but I think it looks nice. So that's that bit done, and I was toying with maybe putting a little linen twine bow just on the front bit. So I'm going to put a little dot tombow on there. I'm not going to put these all the way around. Just going to do it on the front one. And so you could add a tag if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it like that. You can compare it to Angelina's. It is just a little bit smaller. That's my prototype that I made to the original measurements, and with the holes front and back, and that's with the holes on the side. So I think it does make your bow sit better, doing it like that. So yeah, hope you like that. Hope you've been on the hop. If you haven't been on the hop, I will link to the hop in my blog post, which is linked down below, linked to everything that I've used. Oh, I haven't tidied those tails off, so that you can nip to my shop and buy some if you wish. And yeah, so no, getting forward planning for Valentine's Day. So yeah, I think there'd be nice little treats in there for Valentine's Day. Okay, see you all again soon. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.